sorry. I didn't mean to get in the way. Who the board persons are today. Okay. Huh? No, I just didn't know if someone had done the challenge. some as they wake, some by mistake, summed in a chain of love. A primal longing, it's in our bones. You can't miss something that you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Hearts in the world are waiting. Spirit is one, scattered before the sun, elusive space and time, end of an age, end of a cage, end of a paradigm. Bound where it can't be found, we carry them along. It isn't far, it is a garden, it is where we are one. Must be home. You can't miss something you've never known. Hearts in the world
took a while to set it free, to hold me and feel me closer. I have a part of you. It took a while, but now it feels so good to hold you and feel you closer now. Closer than your eyes could see, closer than a silent heartbeat. You must have felt this long ago. I didn't know how deep this could be. We are a part of us. It took a while, but now it's a bond of trust to hold you and feel you, to hold you and feel you forever
Here we can find peace in our own lives, just by making room space for the meaning there between those things that crowd my mind. Why, as the blue sky may I open Let the time pass full as silence. Good morning. We are still wearing masks in our service. Each time we begin a service, I ask permission for the people who are speaking in this pulpit to take their masks off. If anyone is uncomfortable with that, would you please let us know? Okay, thank you. We set aside this time together in order that we might collectively elevate and contemplate matters of worth, share our insights, learn from one another, and encourage each other along our various paths. We believe spiritual maturity is in large measure about how we live this life. We can come together in reverence, walk in integrity, and foster compassion in the world, and we endeavor to treat respectfully those with differing paths and opinions. We wish this to be a church where we encounter one another with wonder and appreciation, curiosity, and a little expectation, where we try to call out of each other strengths and wisdom and love that we never knew we had. So, you and your precious uniqueness are welcome here. Whoever truth calls you to be in this world, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us, you are welcome. We'd like to give you a little bit of information up front in the service, and I would invite one of our board members, Jennifer Russell, to come give you a little bit of news.
Good morning. So for this last week of September, our volunteer of the month is Brittany Turner. She has been, if you've enjoyed pretty much any of the visual stuff that goes on in our virtual services, anything that involves making the technology work for us and be appealing and all of that, that's Brittany. She has really just gone above and beyond the last couple of years, and we really appreciate her. And as Susan reminds us, as we are trying to fill her shoes, the mistakes that we make are just opportunities to appreciate Brittany, right? Our Giveaway the Plate recipient for the month of September is the Highland Center Ministries. So they do a lot of different things. The Highland Blessing Dinner, non-predatory lending for low-income families, tax preparation, things like that. Yes, they have a clothing closet, GED classes, just tons of great stuff. So anything that comes in the collection baskets in the back that is not marked or designated as a pledge will go to them. And this is our last Sunday of the month, so if you've been waiting, now's the time. Next week on October 2nd in our 11 a.m. worship service, we are having our Blessing of the Animals service. So if you are not an animal person, you might want to join us virtually that week. If you have pets who are ready for prime time, as they say, and they are leashed or in a box or a crate or a cage or whatever they require to be safe, they are welcome. And they are welcome to join us here in the sanctuary. We will be blessing them and honoring them. We will also have a time during that service where we're going to remember and honor pets that we have lost, that are no longer with us. And that will include a slideshow. So if you have a photograph of a pet that you would like included in that, if you will, should they email it to you, Susan? Is that okay? Okay. Email it to Susan Caldwell, who I just put on the spot. All right. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, I want to thank everybody who came out last night for the documentary Slave State with Curtis Davis. And for those of you who have missed it and would like to see it, we do have permission to have a Zoom showing of the documentary. I'm going to try to arrange that where I could also have Curtis with us when we do it, because his introduction and his story his story is in the documentary, but it also, he has much to say about not only the documentary itself, but the Amendment 7, that we're trying to pass to remove slavery from the Louisiana Constitution. So yes, it's a big deal. So I'll let you know as soon as possible when that Zoom screening will be, and we look forward to that. And yes, next week, Blessing of the Animals. If you want to send me the photo of your departed pets that you would like memorialized, it's dre@allsoulsshreveport.org, and I'm sure that Steve Caldwell will put that in the comments as well this morning. So thank you all for being here.
You want to vote yes on 7. There is no excuse for people being called the property of the state. I mean, they're wards, but not the property of. And we have to stop treating them that way. It was a wonderful presentation. We cannot give the film to anyone, but if you have a group that you'd like to see a viewing of this, we will do our best to set that up with you and Curtis. It's got to be word of mouth, and it's crucial. They've gotten it out of both houses in the state Senate. When is that going to happen again? It's on the ballot. And the only way it'll pass is if we do the talking about it. So please, please, please help us get the word out. In the life of this church, we're in the study season that is ordinarily, we always begin the school year and study seasons with Unitarian Universalist identity. We study our heritage and history during that time, and over the next couple of weeks, we will also be honoring the Jewish High Holy Days by acknowledging some of their teachings and including some of that intention in our own practices. Today, we celebrate the birth of the earth, the birth of the world, the creation of the world, Rosh Hashana, a different and wonderful new year. As we enter into a spirit of worship or reverence for life, Happy New Year.
Let us bless the imagination of the earth, that knew early the patience to harness the mind of time and waited for the seas to warm, ready to welcome the emergence of things dreaming of voyaging among the stillness of the land. And how light knew to nurse the growth until that face of the earth brightened beneath a vision of color. When the ages of ice came and sealed the earth inside, an endless coma of cold, the heart of the earth held hope, storing fragments of memories ready for the return of the sun. Let us thank the earth that offers ground for home and holds our feet firm to walk in space open to infinite galaxies, and the kindness of the earth opening to receive our worn forms into final stillness. And let us ask forgiveness of the earth for all our sins against her, for our silence, for our poisonings of her beauty. And let us remember within us the ancient clay holding the memories of seasons, the passion of the wind, the fluency of water, the warmth of fire, the quiver touch of the sun, and shadowed sureness of the moon, that we may awaken to live to the full the dream of earth, who chose us to emerge and incarnate its hidden night in mind, spirit, and light.
Might we get some help with the first part of the chalice lighting?
We light this chalice to celebrate unitarian universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other. Thank you. Thank you. We light one flame to show unity of spirit, the oneness of our common existence, of the light of truth, of reason, of wisdom, and the love that holds life together. This responsive reading comes from the Jewish community, and it's a particularly Rosh Hashana reading. Now is the time for turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange. The birds are beginning to turn and are headed once more toward the south. The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter. For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easily. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying, I am sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are hard to do. But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. God help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose,
from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith. Turn us around, O God, and bring us back toward you. Revive our lives as at the beginning, and turn us toward each other, God, for in isolation there is no life. Turn around to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light heal again. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light in. Ready? Turn around to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light heal again. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light in. Now, some of you should be singing up a octave. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light heal again. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light. Can we add those together? Turn around to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light heal again. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up to let the light in. Would you please rise in body or spirit and say with me the unison affirmation? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. We're going to do this one a cappella. And it has a round if we can really pull it off. I will ask Miss Susan to help me, and she'd probably do a better job of picking a key for y'all, too. But how's that? Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yahad. I forgot it went that high.
It goes very high.
Okay, that's going to get really low. Let's try it again. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yahad. Hine matov shevet
ahim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet ahim gam yachad. Okay, now let's do the English words, but we'll do it in a round. Okay?
Sure, okay.
You want to start the first part?
Yes. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together.
How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together.
How good it is and how
I messed up. I messed up. Y'all did great. I messed up. Forget the round. Let's go back to the Hebrew and then we'll sit down, okay? Hine ma tov manayim shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine ma tov manayim shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine ma tov shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine ma tov shevet ahim gam yahad. Gotta resolve it, right? So how good it is and how pleasant for people to be together. And again, Happy New Year.
So I'm using my cheat sheet today because I want to get the story right.
Take your mask off.
Thank you. I want to get this story right, and I want to learn in future years to tell it, but I want to do it justice today. Rosh Hashana, as we've talked about already this morning, is the Jewish New Year. The words mean head of the year. It's celebrated with special prayers and by eating apples and honey for the sweetness of the new year, and round challah bread symbolizing the cycle of the year, and by a tashlik ceremony, which involves casting pieces of bread into flowing water to represent casting away one's sins to start fresh. And I do want to tell you that on Monday evening, I believe it's at 6 p.m., Rabbi Jana does a tashlik ceremony down at the boat launch, the Stoner boat launch by the river. And she opens it to anyone who would like to come and join in the spirit of friendship and faith and learning about each other's faith. And it's kind of a beautiful thing. So if you can go, I really do recommend it. It's also celebrated by the blowing of the shofar, which is a ram's horn into which the player, who's often a rabbi, will blow several loud blasts to hail the coming of a new year. And you can go ahead and advance it and then stop the share for right now. This story is true. It's been written down by a woman named Chaya Halberstam Evers, who heard it from her grandfather, Rabbi Meyer Halberstam. Before Rabbi Meyer was a rabbi, he was a 13-year-old boy in a Siberian prison camp. Like many Jewish boys, Meyer made his bar mitzvah, his coming-of-age ceremony, when he was 13, and they sent him to his grandfather, who was a rabbi of Zmigrad in Poland, for this very important occasion in his life. However, this was 1936, and Poland was becoming a dangerous place for Jewish people because of the encroachment of the Nazis. And so Meir and his grandfather escaped to Russia, where they thought they would be safe. But Russia took this opportunity to capture the many Polish refugees flooding into their country and imprison them at hard labor in a very cold, very remote place called Siberia. Meir, his grandfather, and all the people who had fled with them were among those captured and sentenced. As fall drew near and the already cold weather began to get colder, Meir noticed that his grandfather got sadder and sadder. And finally, he asked him what was wrong. I mean, besides the whole idea that we are in a Siberian prison camp. And his grandfather said, Rosh Hashana is coming, and how will we blow the shofar? And his grandfather, who was a rabbi, as we remember, had actually brought along his shofar. But he feared being caught with it just to have it, much less to blow it. He was worried that the guards would punish him for that, or worse. So he dared not blow it. But then young Meir had an idea. And every morning at sunrise, the guards rang this giant bell to wake up the prisoners so they could start working in the work camp. And so one night, right before the first day of Rosh Hashana, Meir slipped out of his bed in the middle of the night and he hid behind a barn and he watched the guards, because every night they would get drunk and they would laugh and they would sing and they would just keep drinking and drinking, and eventually they would just kind of all pass out. And Meir knew this, and so he watched and he waited for the moment when all of these guards were sleeping very deeply. And he put cloth on his hands and feet so that his steps would be soft, and whatever he did with his hands would be soft. And he climbed up the tower where the bell was. He shimmied up the last tallest pole where the bell was perched. He untied the rope that was holding the bell in the tower. Clang! The bell crashed to the ground and shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. Guards never woke up. And Meir crept back to his bed as if nothing had happened. Next morning, after everybody got to sleep in a little bit for a change, the guards woke up and they were all in an uproar. How would they wake up the prisoners now to get their work done? And they began to get angry and they were looking around for someone to blame. And when they found people to blame, it was never a good thing. Meir whispered to his grandfather what he had done. And so his grandfather stepped forward to tell the guards that he, in fact, had this old shepherd's horn. And maybe if they thought it might be loud enough, he could use his horn to wake up the prisoners. Well, the commandant of the camp right away says, give me that, I'll do it, I'll blow it. But if any of you have ever tried to blow a shofar and you don't play trumpet or any kind of mouthpiece instrument, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And sure enough, he tried to blow it and it was like, there was nothing. There was no sound coming out. So Meir's grandfather gently suggested, Meir told them, my grandfather here, he's a professional horn blower, and he could probably help you out with this. And so the guards said, okay, I guess Rabbi Meir, his name was also Meir, I guess he could do that. So the rabbi put the shofar to his lips and he blew several loud blasts as tradition called him to do. And if you'll share the next one. And there's a picture from the camp at about that time. And that is how, one very cold winter in Siberia, some prisoners had a small hint of tradition and a large dose of hope and strength with the blowing of the shofar on Rosh Hashana. Ilshana Tova. And let's sing the children and youth to their classes. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Although it's certainly not required with this meditation, which is taken from the Jewish tradition, it may be enhanced a little bit by closing your eyes. So please sit comfortably and surrender any tensions that you can sense in your body, and take a moment to feel good about yourself for being here, for being present. And as you gaze around your sukkah of peace, a warm breeze gently blows open a curtain and reveals a magnificent garden glowing in the moonlight. Imagine that you rise and walk out in this garden, discovering that it is lit with fireflies, and it has as if angels surround you with lanterns of light. And as you look around the garden, you see the flowers are lit from underneath, and their colors are vibrant against the blue-black night. And as you walk, you step on a shimmering stone pathway that leads you to the center of the garden. And all is well. The sounds of the night awaken your ears. You hear crickets and the sound of a breeze. You hear your own breath, your own heartbeat, your footsteps. The breeze sweeps over your body gently, cleansing away any remnants of tensions that you felt this morning. And you feel the breeze clean your scalp and your mind, your throat, your heart, your arms, your legs, your hands, your fingertips. A warm breeze blows down through your whole spine, cleansing each vertebrae. You now come to the center of the garden, where there is a place for you to sit next to a reflecting pool. And as you sit down, you peer into the pool and you see your image. Do not judge what you see there. Know that it may just be a vague outline or shadow. Seeing yourself is not easy. So we can ask God to reveal you the image that God sees. Try to be gentle and non-critical. This is essential for your healing. Notice how you feel and how have you been treating yourself. Gently ask, have I harmed my body, my honor, my self-esteem? Have I hurt myself through relationships with family or friends? Have I done this accidentally or willfully? What do you feel guilty or angry about in the deepest core of your being? You must try to focus on only one small aspect of yourself that you want to forgive, one place of disappointment, anger, pity. This is your hardest task because self-criticism can stop the healing process. Use your most loving self to focus on the place that is hurting you the most right now. And try to name that feeling. For example, I feel angry at myself for working at a job that never let me grow, or I feel guilty that I wasn't a more involved parent, or I feel disappointed in myself for my smoking or drinking, or I feel frustrated that I continually doubt myself. And now that you have named it, ask God to help you stop hurting yourself. Know that you are not bad, that you are only human, and mistakes are how we learn. So look again into the pool before you and see your reflection being washed with a shower of light that comes from the moon. And the light falls on the surface of the pool like a mist that melts into a salve. Dip your hand into the salve and coat those areas of your body where you feel the pain. Let the warmth of healing dissolve into your body. Notice that downy soft wings now surround you, holding and comforting you as you say, Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the universe, I forgive myself to you. Help me accept myself and learn from my mistakes. Show me my lessons. Help me hold myself in my own wings of acceptance and love. Breathe. Sit silently for a moment and look into the reflecting pool now and see your image shining back at you with joy and light. Your image thanks you, and you respond by thanking God for helping you find the courage to do this work. Slowly, you stand and walk back from the garden on the moonlit path. Ribono Shel Olam, I hereby forgive myself for what I have done that blemished my own divine image, whether my body, my mind, my self-esteem, whether accidentally or deliberately, in this incarnation or another. May it be your will, Adonai, God of my ancestors, that I may sin no more, whatever my error before you. May it be blotted out in your abundant mercy. And may the word of my mouth and the thoughts of my heart be pleasing to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. I hereby forgive myself.
This is the beginning of the days of awe, a period of introspection and penitence. Now, I know that there's been a good bit of God language in the service this morning, and I know that a number of people aren't comfortable with God language. But I hope by now we're getting pretty adept at using our universal translators. And anytime we hear that word or something else that creates a little friction in us, we find the translation that speaks to us so that we can listen to what the intention of the reading is. In the days of awe, the book of life is opened, and people are given a week and a half to try to right wrongs, make amends, correct their course, to have their names inscribed in the book of life for another year. The Day of Atonement, or what I frequently repeat as at-one-ment, is Yom Kippur. That'll be in 10 days from tomorrow. But how does that relate to the Unitarian Universalist identity? Why do we celebrate the High Holy Days in the middle of this pillar? Well, the foremost Unitarian minister, speaker, and theologian of the early 19th century, William Ellery Channing, had a great deal of influence on the Transcendentalists. Nobody disputes that. They claim him, but he does not claim them because he thinks they were extremists. Channing spoke of what has come to be called salvation by character. And in this, Channing understood that the stories and teachings of Jesus demonstrate that humankind has the capacity to perfect their character or to improve, that they are not condemned to be horrible, hell-worthy beings from before they're born. He believed the example set by Jesus of Nazareth showed that humankind was capable of superlative character, not cursed before birth with the sins of their fathers, but that virtuous character can only be developed through commitment to that. Now, this is Unitarian stuff before Unitarian Universalism. He also believed that the only way a person demonstrated fruits of true religion was by living a life of rectitude, goodness, love, charity, meekness, forgiveness, openness, tolerance, and beneficence. No matter how ecstatic-filled or spirit-filled their experiences may be, or their faith in the favor of God, Channing believed if they didn't live a life that demonstrated kindness for others, care for others, an effort to improve self and become a truthful and above reproach individual, then whatever their spiritual life was empty. It didn't have meaning because it didn't affect life for other people. He thought their fervor to be rubbish. Right here, my mind is just wandering off for people that, at this point, are Old Testament Christians that believe in an eye for an eye and have forgotten a lot of the passages that are there as well, like just. Anyway, because it is incumbent upon us to try to continue to improve during the course of our lives, we honor the Hebrew traditions that let us also honor our Unitarian heritage. And over the next 2 weeks, I hope we will set an intention to reflect as openly, honestly, compassionately, and objectively as possible on the past year or so of our own words and actions or inactions, and where we might notice possibilities for improvement, correction, or living a truer course, do what we can to do that. Let us breathe the breath of fall as fall carries that on timeless wings through the shuttered portions of our hearts and our experiences, and give ourselves reason to feel good about ourselves. We know the only thing we can change is us. We can affect change mostly with working with others. It was a little odd a little bit ago to go get apples at Kroger and see all the people that used to be in church on Sunday. Not here. But people, you can just tell by looking at them, that's what they used to do, and that's not their habit anymore. These are different times. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot going on. Everyone is tired. But if we give ourselves mercy, it's easier to see and give mercy outside of us. If we practice using our universal translators, we might hear a place where we can begin a conversation with people we can't talk to. Give yourself a reason to notice what a kind and generous person you are. Every one of you is a kind and generous person. Take the time to notice that. Take the time to remember to love mercy, seek justice, and do what we can to walk humbly for at least a few days. We have a song from the choir, and then we have our little ritual of sweetness.
There's no way to tell from here what only time makes clear. Elements far and near in play, opening up the wounds so deep. Lessons come free, but never cheap. Passion's the guiding rule, and earth the providing pool we share. The future will stretch out wide, you'll see. I'm holding the possibility with care. Oh, I get weary and my spirit goes low. Sometimes I confess I let the light go. I'm here with a mission to fill my soul back up. Get the dark emptied out and find my way back to love. Nobody can take my place, lifting the human race over division's wasted time. I'll do what I can to be what mercy asks of me, and I'll carry hope for all I see. I'm holding possibility.
Sweetness is the potential. It's a possibility. Something to savor and delight in. The infinite potential of every moment we exist. We have apples with the added sweetness of honey to remind us of both that goodness we have and that for which we seek. Please have extra care to keep the honey only where it is contained. And as you receive them, feel free to go ahead and partake with a prayer that to the already tender gift of life we enjoy, there might be added an extra measure of sweetness. We offer and receive these tokens. I have trash bags for the cups, but I'm afraid there's too much honey in them to go in these paper bags. So maybe I'll grab the trash can in the back and bring it so it's reachable as we exit. If you will please take your cups with you, unless you drink them or... Really, y'all, next week is Blessing of the Animals, but the week after that is our burning ceremony. I have worksheets for us to use, if we will, during the next couple of weeks, to just kind of review our lives a little bit. Not trying to make New Year's resolutions for Rosh Hashana, but to see ourselves more clearly and with more love. And do what we can to make ourselves clear passageways for inspiration and insight and invention. We certainly need all we can get to bring about the changes that I think we'd all love to see. Please keep in mind that if you have a group that could use to see Curtis Davis's 26-minute video with his story before it, and usually question and answer after it. If you want that, please talk to Susan. And I'm going to pass these around.
Elie Wiesel tells the story of one righteous man of Sodom who walked the street protesting against the injustices of the city. He was made fun of and ridiculed, but then one day a young person asked, "Why do you continue to protest against evil? Can't you see that nobody is paying attention to you?" The righteous man answered, "At first I thought I would change my people and the city. Today, I know I cannot. But by continuing my protest, I'll keep them from changing me." How important that we heed these words in today's society. It is far too easy to give up the fight for justice because it feels like one is hitting a brick wall. But if you are hitting a brick wall, that should tell you that the problem still persists. And if you stop fighting, you'll easily become assimilated into an unjust culture you are protesting against. So if you stop fighting, you may or may not make a change, but you will at least keep yourself from compromising your own principles.
So this work is about keeping the world from changing us. Unless, of course, we need to change. We have a closing song. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. If you are not feeling free, this is a way to lighten your load. I believe that. Last year, I think it was, we were virtual, and people wrote down the things they wanted to unload on toilet paper and flushed them, rather than having a burning ceremony. So if you are virtual, you can do that. Put things on tissue or toilet paper or something flushable, and write them down, and you can wash them away instead of having to burn them in a couple of weeks. Would you rise in body or spirit? Let's boogie this. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I could say 'em loud, say 'em clear for the whole world to hear. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear for the whole world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart. Remove all the bars that still keep us apart. I wish I could know what it means to be me, and agree everyone should be free. Then you'd see and agree everyone should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing. I wish I could live all the things I need. Though I may only live like a star. Though I may only live like a star. I wish I could fly like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found that in mine I soared to the sun and looked down at the sea. And I'd see the light now used to be free. And I'd see the light used to be. That's it. The book of life is open before us. It tells stories of sadness, happiness, despair, and hope, stagnation and change, and a peaceful stillness that transcends both. May you be written in the book of life. May you write your own name there in shining ink stirred together from the tears of the past and the sweet flower essence of the hoped-for future. May you know who you have been and who you are, and bless your future self with loving, brave intention. Lashana Tova, to a good new year. Go in peace. One, two, three, four. I will not be afraid, for I know my hope
revelation still unfolds. I will not be ashamed. I will open my soul to the mystery beyond my control. The love that makes this broken world whole. There is only so far down the road a body can see. I will do what's mine and move on. Speaking truth with love to powers ever greater than me. With compassion, I'll be where I belong. I will not be afraid, for I know my hope, it is justified, I know. Revelation still unfolds. I will not be ashamed. I will open my soul to the